Hello, this is Hiro from Leathercraft School. Welcome to day 6 of intermediate course. In the last lesson, we covered the basics of skiving, how to hold and move your leather knife. So in this lesson, we will focus on improving your control during skiving, specifically how to manage the thickness of the edge after skiving. In many of the upcoming tutorial videos where I will mention place skiving, unless I specify exact thickness, you might wonder how much you should skive. I usually mean skiving leather pieces down to about half or 1/3 of original thickness. Let me explain with a diagram. Skiving leather down to half means you will be skiving like this, thinning the edge down to around 50%. Skive leather down to 1/3 means you will be skiving like this, thinning the edge down around 33.3%. So today, I will walk you through how to skive accurately to your target thickness, whether it's half, 1/3, or somewhere in between. Let's dive in! Now, I wish I could say there's an easy trick for this, but there isn't. It's all about practicing with scrap pieces of leather and getting a feel for the angle of your knife. To practice, let's start with some 2mm or 5/1 thick leather and use a pen or marker to mark a line about 1/4 inch or 6mm from the edge. For the first step, let's try to skive the edge down to half, in here 2.5 ounce or 1mm. That's a half of the original thickness. After skiving a bit, let's stop and check the edge of the leather and compare it to the original thickness. If the edge isn't skived half, let's adjust the angle of your blade and try again. In this case, compare it to the original edge. It's still too thick. So let's add a bit more angle and retry. Eventually, you will hit the sweet angle where it's right to skive down to half. Once you manage to get it right, let's keep skiving for a while without checking. Once you're comfortable with half thickness, let's try going for 1/3, around 1.7 ounce or 0.7mm. The process is the same. Skive, check the edge, adjust angle, try again. You will need to angle steeper for 1/3 thickness than half thickness. And I know it can feel a bit scary, especially during project. If the angle is too steep, you might accidentally go too deep and tear through the leather. So if 1/3 feels difficult, it's fine to start with half and gradually increase the angle from there to make it to 1/3 thickness. That's all for today. How was the lesson? Today, we used 5 ounce or 2mm leather pieces for practice. But once you're comfortable with that, please try practicing with 4 ounce or 1.5mm leather pieces. As the leather gets thinner, the angle of your knife needs to adjust as well, so practicing on different thickness pieces will help you become more flexible or precise. 4 thick is pretty thin pieces, so aiming for 1/3 will be tricky. So when working with 4 thickness pieces, let's just focus on being able to skive down to half thickness first. And when you skive in your actual project, please make sure to test skiving on scrap pieces from same leather you will be using before working on your project. I always test skiving when working on project without exception. When it's time to work on a project, you only have to do is just test skiving once with your scrap pieces. You just test skiving with your scrap pieces you will be use, check the edge, then adjust the angle. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give me a like and subscribe for more Leathercraft tips. See you in the next lesson. Bye!